Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Yesterday, in a day of high drama on Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives postponed an expected vote on their health care insurance bill. This is the bill that would repeal Obamacare and implement their own bill, which of course would still have to pass the Senate. President Trump issued an ultimatum to the House, telling them that if they did not vote on the bill today, Friday, to simply forget it. He would move on to other things such as tax reform and infrastructure improvement. Whether or not the Congress is going to do anything is unknown. But President Trump supposedly is an expert on working out deals, so we'll see what happens. One thing President Trump has already done today is he has approved the Keystone pipeline, which had been canceled in 2015 by President Obama. The pipeline is going to carry 830,000 barrels of oil a day from Canada. It's going to run for about 1,179 miles through Montana, South Dakota, and Nebraska, where it's going to connect with an existing pipeline system to bring oil down to the Gulf Coast. One of the most disliked men in Britain is the European Commission Chairman, Jean-Claude Juncker. Mr. Juncker did not do anything today by an interview with The Guardian, saying that, in fact, if Britain does leave the European Union, there will be a bill that will be presented to Britain that represents obligations that the British government has already incurred for EU debt. He said the bill would be as much as 52 billion pounds, or about $67 billion US. He said that this is not a penalty, it's not a punishment, it's simply a payment of obligations that Britain has agreed to already when it was a full voting member of the EU. Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, is due to formally notify Brussels of the country's intention to leave the European Union in a letter to the European Council on the 29th of March. That will trigger Article 50, which is a 2-year process of negotiation, leading to the reduction of the EU in size from 28 to 27 members by March of 2019. The families of victims of the Germanwings airline crash are criticizing the father of the co-pilot, who apparently, according to the findings from Lufthansa, intentionally crashed the plane because he had been depressed at the time of the crash. This is the second anniversary of the crash. There are a number of commemoration ceremonies and memorials being scheduled. The father of Andreas Lubitz, the suicidal co-pilot who killed all 150 people on board, said that his son was not depressed. He's working with a journalist. They have concocted a theory that a carbon monoxide leak in the cabin disabled Lubitz while the captain was locked out of the cockpit. The cockpit voice recorder, which has been recovered, has the sound of the captain attempting to break through the door with an axe as the plane plummeted to earth. A new world first international volcano risk model has been launched by Swiss Re. It reveals that some of the world's largest cities have an economic exposure of up to $30 billion to volcanic activity. The country that has compulsory volcano insurance is in fact Iceland. And as a result, the city of Reykjavik ranks last on the top 15 cities most at risk for losing half of 1% of their country's gross domestic product following volcanic activity. That's because they're insured. The 3 cities most at risk, according to Swiss Re, are Managua, Nicaragua, San Jose, Costa Rica, and San Salvador in Ecuador. More than 250 African migrants are feared to have drowned in the Mediterranean Sea after a rescue boat found 2 partially submerged rubber dinghies off the coast of Libya. Luanda in Angola, Luanda is the capital of Angola, has been badly affected after a month's worth of rain fell in just over 24 hours. 11 people have died in Luanda and several more are missing. In addition to the fatalities, about 700 homes have been destroyed and more than 5,000 properties flooded. The floods have left much of the farmland in Luanda province underwater with communications cut off. Amazon yesterday afternoon won a ruling worth more than $1.5 billion in a tax dispute with the Internal Revenue Service over transactions involving a Luxembourg unit of Amazon over 10 years ago. Judge Albert Lauber of the U.S. Tax Court rejected a variety of IRS arguments and found that on several occasions the IRS had abused its discretion. The world's largest online retailer said the case involved transaction in 2005 and 2006, and as a result could have boosted its federal tax bill by $1.5 billion plus interest. It said that the loss could add significant tax liabilities in later years. The IRS case involved transfer pricing, which arises when different units of multinational companies transact with one another. The IRS believed that Amazon's dealings were not all done at, quote, arm's length, and improperly lowered its domestic U.S. tax bill. Before entering the White House, Donald Trump contended that Amazon, run by billionaire Jeff Bezos and also the owner of the Washington Post, failed to pay enough taxes, once accusing it on Fox News of, quote, getting away with murder tax-wise. No word on Trump's reaction to the court ruling. That's the news for today. Have a good weekend. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. If not, thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday.